Good evening to one and all. I hope you are fit and fine this rainy evening and looking forward to an insightful session on cloud. No, not the one in the sky, but that will skyrocket your career today. On behalf of MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence, MIT Art, Design and Technology University, and CloudThat, I welcome you to the Bootcamp on Cloud Computing. I also extend a warm welcome to our speakers of the day, Mr. Anand Tirth Mathad, Mr. Karthik CV, and Professor Suraj Bhoyar. Before we start, as per the usual practice of MIT-ADT University, we will seek blessings from Goddess Saraswati for an auspicious beginning. I hence request you to join your hands for the Saraswati Vandana. May I request the prayer, please? Thank you. It is expected that the cloud computing market is likely to reach nearly $350 to $380 billion. With these opportunities pouring in like the monsoon this season, what are our chances to join this bandwagon? And then, how is the next question? Let's explore a few answers for this. To get an overview of this bootcamp today, let me request Professor Suraj Bhoyar sir to take over. Before that, I'll just take a minute for a brief introduction. Professor Suraj Bhoyar is a project director of MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence. He is a passionate digital evangelist at MIT-ADT University, a postgraduate in mechanical engineering, patents law, and educational administration. He's keen to develop an ecosystem for nurturing skills development as well as employability. His dynamic role in getting future skills training for career aspirants make him confident to build an enterprising and innovative India. He dreams to reshape the lives of students and working professionals via excellence in future exponential technologies, which will have a robust technological impact on tomorrow's economy. With an exponential learning curve and amazing networking skills, his dream is to lead the Ministry of Higher and Technical Education for better industry-institute interaction ecosystem development. May I request sir to take over, please?
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. First of all, let me congratulate all the budding engineers and techno enthusiasts, those who have joined today for this session. My dear friends, the two most important days in an individual's life are, first, the day they are born, and second, the day they find out why. And I try to live by both every day. I believe, my dear friends, I was born to help to build a more likable world for my kid, for my family, and those who I affect through my coaching, teaching, facilitating, and leading. I believe I was born to help my kid and others become more transparent, authentic leaders who put others' needs first. So, why were you born, and what is your purpose in life? If you know the answer to those two questions, you are off to a great start. And I'll simply suggest that you remind yourself of the answers every day. If you are not sure yet, it's never too late or too early to figure it out. right? Moving on. Yes, let me start, or let me set the context with the beautiful quote. Opportunities don't happen, you create them, right? And with the same motto, to ensure that students graduate with the skills that they need to succeed in the workforce, university education have to become more strongly linked to the rapidly evolving economy, right? And MIT-ADT University has been taking all the steps, all the endeavors to ensure that curricula should provide students with appropriate skill sets for long-term and future-proof careers. At MIT Art, Design and Technology University, we have been mapping our resources best to adopt strategic approaches to emerging technologies, organizational practices, and digital environment as well. MIT's Center for Future Skills Excellence has been established to deliver a super specialized employability-oriented programs in SAP, AI, machine learning, data science, cloud computing, blockchain technology, cyber security, robotic process automation, and what. And these are among the important and main technical clusters identified by MIT-ADT University. And we are sure in the next 3 years, these professions are expected to generate more than 10 million new employment opportunities, right? So let's explore more about today's orientation session. So let me quickly introduce you about MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence. MIT Fuse is a flagship initiative and most sought after online program of MIT-ADT University. And we have solely dedicated ourselves to reshaping the lives of students and working professionals via excellence in future exponential technology. So to have strong impact on the tomorrow's economy, right? So just to quickly, you can go through what exactly we do and what we are trying to achieve here. Because our main intention and goal is to provide students and working professionals from all walks of life with quality education and industry aligned curriculum to ensure that they succeed in their careers, right? So what do we do? My dear friends, all technological skills, both advanced and basic, will see substantial growth in demand, right? And advanced technology require people who understand how it works, how it can innovate, how they can develop and adopt them. And the booming sectors for this particular skill set very much integral are information technology, then ITES, manufacturing and automation, banking and insurance, retail, energy, mining, healthcare, and what, right? So what do we do? Yes, we are very much focused and we are striving hard to provide employability oriented curriculum so that students and stakeholders could become more employable and job ready, right? So let me quickly tell you what do we offer. Advanced certification programs and PG programs in AI/ML, cloud computing, cyber security, blockchain, data science, IoT, SAP, and digital marketing, right? So how do we do it? So MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence is about to build and create a strong community of a smart, employable tech enthusiasts with super specialized expertise in emerging technology domain. So let me quickly put a poll before you, right? And let's see. So you have 30 seconds to answer, my dear friends. Question number 1 before you. Do you think upskilling and reskilling have relevance in today's competition? So please choose your answer. 20 seconds more to go. I could see, yes, more than 150 plus participants have joined. And only 90 of them have responded. Please be quick. Do you think upskilling and reskilling have relevance in today's competition? We have 10 seconds more. All right, let me end the first poll and results are before you, right? So around 86% say yes, right? Okay. Let me launch poll number 2 just to understand the context. Yes, there is second question on your screen. What is your preferred method for learning new skills? What is your preferred method? Is it offline? Is it online instructor-led, which is in synchronous, or online pre-recorded videos with asynchronous? What do you think? In today's world, what could be more convenient to you? Is it offline? Is it online instructor-led, which is synchronous training? Or is it online with pre-recorded videos, which is asynchronous? Ten seconds more, please be quick. Okay, let me end the poll. Yes, around 63% says online instructor-led synchronous, 29% says offline, and 6% says online pre-recorded. So great response for online instructor-led synchronous training. All right, moving on. Yes. So my dear friends, have you ever tried to achieve a goal but achieved mediocre results? Definitely you can use chat box. Or have you ever seen other people achieve their goals effortlessly and wonder how do they do that? Right? So this is where MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence comes in, and why it's an important part for everyone attending this session towards your dreams and goal achievement, and how to go about doing it. Like as I mentioned, 86% of you says upskilling and reskilling is very much important, and it is very critical in today's fierce competition. So my dear friend, generally speaking, career development is the process of 2 steps. First, identifying your skill gaps, where you are lagging, where you are leading, like SWOT analysis we do, and developing and honing the skill sets which you are anticipating. And why it's important? Because your skills determine your ability to execute your plans with success. Right? So this is how we do it. We divided our modules in 3 parts, where you will be learning advanced, then professional, and then industry internship, where you will get proper exposure and you can have more practical knowledge, whatever you learned so far. Right? Moving on. This is very, very important slide, my dear friends. You can snip it off. Current challenges. My dear friends, it is for sure the future of work is defined by 2 major trends that are changing workplaces, workforces, and the nature of work today. Yes. And the first trend is the growing adoption of technologies like artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, cloud computing, robotics, automation, right, at the workplace. And the second is changing the physical distribution of the workforce and the rise in the remote employees and gig workers. Now, from last 2 years, everyone has experienced it. And it's been more than 18 months, my dear friends. We have been discussing with the top industry veterans and experts, mentors, for feasibility review and delivery mechanism for employability enhancement. MIT-ADT University and CloudThat Technologies have come together to curate a unique, innovative, and industry-relevant career-assured program to build techno-functional professionals in cloud. Yes. So what we have done, we have analyzed the 3 important dimensions of digital disruption while exploring the future skills and their impact on any workforce transformation. Number 1, the work itself. Number 2, workforce, who does the work. And number 3, my dear friends, where the work is being done. Right? Now, you would definitely agree with me, this pandemic has compelled people to work from their homes, and they have to communicate, collaborate, and contribute online. So let's pretend the cloud doesn't exist. For some, this idea is even unimaginable today in 21st century, but you never know. anything else, right? So the cloud has been there. How could you live without cloud-based email or find new place without Google Maps leading the way? So just to add more interest, let me quickly launch poll number 3 and let me seek your answers. So poll number 3 is on your screen, my dear friends. And the question is, can you imagine your world without Google Maps, Translate, Netflix, Instagram, Twitter, or Gmail? Can you imagine a world without all these things? Please be quick, very straightforward question. Last 10 seconds, guys. I could see only 80% participants have participated. Yes. So let me end this poll. Thank you so much for your answer. The question was, can you imagine world without Google Maps, Translate, Netflix, Instagram, Twitter, or even Gmail? And 96% of you, I don't know who are those 4%, but 96% of you says no. Yes, we can't imagine a world without it, right? So let me quickly sum up. Yes. So, my dear friends, we see an essential role of cloud computing in taking up the challenge of working from home and delivering efficiently. And as far as social distancing, work from home is or was the new norm, businesses are pushed to rely on technologies in every aspect of operations. And this further presses the businesses to go remote as business continuity plan. And the cloud continues to change the way we think and go about our everyday lives. And without cloud computing, my dear friends, businesses, products would not be the same or have the same potential, right? Just as we could not imagine our lives without electricity. This could be a very bold statement, but this is very correct, very apt in today's time. We could not imagine our lives without electricity. It is difficult to imagine a world without the cloud, right? And much like electricity, you can turn up the cloud up and turn the cloud down as you need. And we will discuss in subsequent discussion. So how to create value out of it? This outlook helped us to offer a fresh perspective on how MIT-ADT University could respond to the current challenges unfolding before the industries and how we could meet the industry's demand. And ultimately, my dear friends, it becomes the prime motto of MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence, right? So, yes, quickly I'll share the important stats on your screen. You can see on your screen, AWS, Microsoft, and Google collectively harvested 65% of global spend on cloud computing in first quarter of 2022. And they outgrew their competition to the extent that their collective dominance leaves rivals with only niches to explore, right? Because infrastructure as a service and platform as a service dominated the market like anything. And these big three, AWS, Microsoft, and Google, dominate these two services, IaaS and PaaS, right? To an even greater extent that they can do it in other markets. So while the level of competitions remain high, the huge and rapidly growing cloud market continues to coalesce around Amazon, Microsoft, and Google, right? So with this, let me stop and let me hand it over to Ms. Smruti for further, and let's hear from the domain expert about the cloud. Over to you, Smruti, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. I would second that when you say that it has become more of a necessity now as compared to electricity. So yes, I'm sure that most of us will agree to that. Thank you so much, sir, for setting the perfect note for exploring this exciting cloud computing career prospect. Moving on, friends, to guide us more with this career option, we have with us Team CloudThat. Mr. Anandit Mathad is a subject matter expert on cloud and AI/ML at CloudThat, and he is a data science enthusiast with demonstrated skills in machine learning, data analytics using Python and data communication technologies. He has 8 years of technical teaching and 3 years of research experience and has delivered trainings to corporates like TCS, Wipro, IBM, Fujitsu, and so on. Welcome, sir. With him, we have Mr. Karthik CV, a subject matter expert in cloud and AI/ML at CloudThat. He is a passionate trainer and technology enthusiast. He has over 7 years of teaching expertise and specialized in providing personalized trainings. Welcome to you, sir. May I request Anandit sir and Karthik sir to take over the session now.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So thank you, Suraj sir and Smriti ma'am, for setting the very good outside here. So let's continue with the discussion here. So like whatever I was just listening here. So we have to improve our skills. That is what it was being said from our Suraj sir here. So if you improve your skills on an industry where you don't have the opportunity only, so is it useful for you? So you can just put it across. Assume that you are very good at a skill X, but that industry is not going on. Like what are the skill that you are having? It is not having that much amount of what to say growth and all. So is it useful for you? You can just put it in the chat window. Yes, no. Is it useful? So if you're having that skills, I can see a few of the answers coming in the chat window here. Yes, obviously it is no. Like if you are having a skill X, but it is not useful only, it is of no use that you learn that across. So now I'm just having this particular slide over here. You can just see how this particular industry that we are trying to target, it is having. So this is the growth of the industry in the last few years. So like this is the growth what we had. Like you can see that it is having enormous growth in the last few years. In the last decade we have, I can say. But after the post-pandemic, what I want to say, like after the post-pandemic, whatever it is there, it is increasing at a little more better rate here. So it is increasing at a rate of 15% CAGR. So CAGR generally it is means like how much revenue it is increasing on a year-on-year basis. So it can generate these cloud services can generate on year-on-year basis. It can generate a revenue of around 15%. So I just wanted to show this particular thing here. So it is not only it was having a good boom in the last, but it is expected to grow at a rate of 15%. So if the industry is growing at a rate of 15% means, so what I can assume, so my job roles, what are the job opportunities that we are having, all of these will be growing at a very good pace. So this is the overall industry, how it is growing. So there was one analysis from one of the famous analysts. So that is from NASSCOM and all. So in the year 2021, there are around 6 lakh job opportunities that are available in this particular domain in the financial year 2021, which is still 30% of the job roles are not filled. So like if I say like around 9 lakh openings were there, in that only 6 lakh job openings were filled. So still there is a demand and supply gap of around 30% in the year 2021. That is what it is being done from NASSCOM. This is the analysis that is being done by the NASSCOM. So now before going to that particular part, so if I just go into this particular domain, so there are different job opportunities that are available in this particular domain. I can say something like cloud solutions engineer. So there is a cloud migration engineer, cloud solutions architect. So there is something called as data engineer, data analyst, data scientist. So we have DevOps engineer, migration engineers, so build engineers. Like that we are having so many domains. So many job roles are available in this particular cloud domain only. So let's try to ma'am, can you just go to the previous slide? So now why this cloud engineer is coming into the boom. First, let's try here we are trying to show some of the job roles here. So it is not like I'm not taken all the job roles. So let's try to show some of the job roles here. So before the pandemic, like majority of the companies were not thinking to go on the cloud. So they were trying to have all the projects on their on premises. But after the COVID, like because of the COVID, they were not able to manage many of the projects. So they started to migrate towards the cloud. So what they started doing is they started to migrate towards the cloud, because of which many of the migration engineers came into picture. So now majority of the projects which are happening in the cloud domain, so are migration projects. So if you are very well versed in this particular migration and all, so if you're having a basic knowledge of infrastructure and all, you'll be having a good demand actually. So according to one of the report, that is the DICE 2020 tech job report. So this particular cloud solutions architect, cloud engineers, these jobs are increasing at a rate of 20% per year. So if you in this year, if you're having a job requirement of 1 lakh, sorry. So this year, if you're having a job requirement of 1 lakh, the next year it is increasing at a rate of 1,20,000. So that is the range in which actually it is increasing for the cloud engineers, cloud solution engineers. So now, so if you just observe just for the cloud engineer, if you are having a basic infrastructure level knowledge, so you can get easily a job of around 6 lakhs. So this is just a starting salary that has put it here. So this is just a snapshot of a Glassdoor. If you just go to the pay scale and just observe, this is in India, so not in any other country. So this is the India, and this screenshot it is taken like few days back, and you can see the median salary. So median salary, if you just consider, also it is having 8 lakh, around 8 lakh salary here. So which is a very good pay for a fresher or to start with. So now if I just go to the next domain, so we have one more job opportunity called as DevOps engineer. So during the pandemic, what was happening is many of the job roles, if you just consider, so it was getting either the layoffs were happening or pay rise cuts were happening. So if you're having some salary, so on that particular year, like companies were telling like, okay, we cannot give a hike in this particular year, or we'll reduce your salary by 10%, we'll not be giving the complete salary. But these were the engineers who were in very high demand during that time, because like, so I want to have all the process in line. So I have to keep all the things in pipeline. I have to orchestrate in a proper way so that my projects will go. So there will be one development engineer, there will be a QA engineer. There should be some integration between them. So it has to go in a proper way. So that is where this DevOps engineer comes into picture. So like they were in very high demand during the pandemic, like when majority of the salaries were having a pay cuts. So they were having a pay rise because of the huge demand in the, like they were having a huge resource crunch in this DevOps domain. So if you're having a knowledge on DevOps, it is not only a software engineer, you can also apply in ML or any of the applications. So if you're having a knowledge of ML and DevOps, again, it is an added advantage. So like that, you can have a very good range here. So you can see the base salaries. So here it is having around 7 lakhs. So here you can see around 7.5 lakhs. It is, so if you're having a good experience in this domain, you can reach up to the like, so they have collected the data based on some few of the people here. So which was updated on 3rd July 2020. If you want, you can just go back and check it across. So this is a live data which we had taken. So which is having a good pay here. And moving up to the next role here. So let me just go to the next role, which is very, very beautiful one. So before explaining about this particular job role, so now majority of us, so we are using the Instagram, so we're using the Facebook, we are using so many things. Whether Facebook is providing free of data to us, or whether we are giving the data to Facebook. Can you just put it in the chat window here? So are we generating the data for the Facebook, or all these services Facebook is giving free for us? So just have a small question in the chat. I request you people to put it in the chat window here. I'm getting few of the answers here. I request others also to put it across. We are generating the data to the them. See, like they are not giving anything free to us. So we are generating the data. So whatever the search you do, a simple search, assume that you want to purchase some shoes. So just go and search for Adidas shoes like in Flipkart. So automatically, wherever you open any other mail, or if you open any page, automatically you'll be getting the, what to say, recommendation for your shoes. Because like all this data is being analyzed. And for collecting this data, so like these, either the Google, Facebook, Amazon, so these are actually charging the companies to give this data. So I just have a stat here. So like if you just take in 2016, so amount of data that is being generated per month, it was 12,000 petabytes. But now in 2021, so we just take, it has grown to 48,000 petabytes per month. So just imagine the amount of data that will grow in the near future. Because see, now we are having the 4G, and in the near future, what we'll have, we'll be having the 5G and all, because of which, like, what is the thing what we have? So we'll be generating so much enormous amount of data. Why am I speaking about data? So if I'm having enormous amount of data, to handle that enormous amount of data, what do I require? I require engineers to handle that particular data. So that is where this data engineers will come into role. So now data is the new oil, and the engineers who are having the knowledge of data engineering, so they can be considered as like a gold or diamond kind of thing. So I'll just give one personal experience which I had in one of the trainings. So I was just delivering for a Microsoft for one of the batch. So like the participants said, for the data engineering course, they are registering like 3 months before. So then they're not getting a seat to have the data engineering course delivered for them. So they're having the crunch of that much amount of the crunch is there for the data engineers. So, and this data engineer is a profile which is growing at a rate of 50% per annum. So this year, if there is a requirement of 1 lakh job roles, next year we are having a requirement of 1,50,000. So that much rate it is growing. So I can for sure promise you, if you are having good skills on this data engineering and all, so you will be at a very good position in the next few years. So your next, at least a decade of your career will be like a promising career. So that much, like with confidence I can say, because like I've seen it live. So my participants saying that I have registered for a course through Microsoft, but I did not get the opportunity in this batch. They said we'll be giving you the seat in next 3 months. So that is the amount of demand that we have for this particular course or this particular profile, data engineers or data scientist, data analyst. So these are very in demand course here. So we started with just analyzing the industry, how the industry is working. And we also seen like, okay, what all different fancy salaries that we are having. See, for a fresher, I can say like 8 lakhs is one of the very good pay. So like maybe for an experience, like this is a very less. So for an experience, you are having a pay of like 17 lakhs till that particular point. Like this is the data what they have based on the collected data what they're having. So it is having very good scope for this particular profiles. Okay, one side there is a very fancy pay, but like one side, so many job opportunities are there, but why are we stuck? So that is what we have to know. So that is why I just tried to analyze this particular things. So I just got a few stats. So actually I just got few articles from Forbes, Economic Times. So these are the one of the leading things like which will be explaining they'll be doing the analysis in a very proper way here. So can we just go to the next slide? See, these are some of the snapshots which are taken from the Forbes and the Economic Times here. So lack of talent is threatening the cloud projects in India. So here that NASSCOM has created one report like in the financial year 2021. So they have hired like 6 lakh professionals in the cloud domain alone in India alone. So, but then too, they were having a shortage of 30% of the resource. Means they had target of around 9 lakh professionals. I can say like it is 0.9 million resources that were required, but they had a shortage of 30% who are having a skilled resource. So this same NASSCOM has tried to analyze the forecast for the next 5 years. So by the year 2025, the amount of requirement of the cloud engineers will be around 3 million. So it means around 30 to 35 lakh cloud professionals are required. But based on the skills upgradation, whatever it is happening in India currently, so it is estimated that amount of resources that will be available is around 1.5 million, means around 15 lakhs. So there is a huge gap between the demand and the supply. So demand is somewhere in 3 million and the supply is around 1.5 to 2 million. See, like if the demand supply gap rises, automatically the demand for you rises. So you can demand a higher pay. So that is what we can observe in the near future. So yeah, if you are trying to have this particular thing, so in the cloud domain, if you're starting your career now, so you may start with the salary of around 6 to 8 lakhs, but it is not a small salary. Or if you start with 5 lakhs also, it is not a small salary. So if you're having a relevant skills, so you can always jump to a very high salary. So this is the industry, how the industry is there. So how this particular cloud computing industry is there. That is just what I want to share few insights here. So till now what we are seeing, so we are seeing some of the insights, how this cloud computing industry is there and what are the different roles that are available. So that is what we are seeing. So before going forward, so we should require to know what is basically the cloud computing. So to know more about the cloud computing, I'll just hand over this particular session to my colleague, Mr. Anantirth. So Anantirth, over to you.
Thank you so much, Karthik. I hope my voice is properly audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for confirming. Yeah, that was an amazing introduction to how things are in the market and what are we up to in general in the domain of cloud computing. While talking, Suraj sir said one interesting thing, and that caught my attention, that imagining the world without cloud is equivalent to imagining the world without electricity, right? That makes real sense, actually. That's exactly what I think Karthik showed you on the screen, right? So things are going a long way in the domain of cloud computing. So with that note, let's get started. A little bit of a brush up onto what exactly is cloud computing, why are we so much behind this, and what are some basics of cloud computing, right? And so on, so that we can build on top of this to understand and build the market, bridge the market gap, right? So cloud computing is something that is a delivery of computing services over the internet, right? So let me tell you one example, right? So we have all used these cloud services without or with our notice, right? Like Suraj sir told about Google services, or for example, Google Maps, okay? Or you might have seen, you jump to any any website randomly, and there is a chat bot popping up immediately and asking you if you want help, right? Right from the kids to the defense people, everyone has used some or the other services of the cloud. That's the beauty, right? For example, kids are playing so intense games today, and you see that the leaderboards, the real-time leaderboards are appearing, and you have further predictions on what is going to happen in the game and so on, because of which the game becomes so exciting. And this experience, right, this is called user experience, was not or was never there 1 decade ago, right? This is all because of the cloud computing that's working in the backend. And similarly, we talk about healthcare or retail, like sir mentioned, it's about finance or any other market, right? In general, every part of it is touched by the cloud computing. So if you look at what is cloud computing, let's talk about it and understand what it is, right? So cloud computing is about delivering compute services over the internet. So what it helps with is, see, in an on-premises structure, if you look at on-premises in the sense, let's say you have an IT company, and in the IT company, you have infrastructure for the IT services, right? So what infrastructure do you have? You have servers, and inside of the servers, you have the operating systems. And for the servers, you have networking enabled, and plus the power connections and storage, the disks associated with the servers, and so on, right? So the disks, the compute power, the CPU, the networking related stuff, everything comprise one IT infrastructure, right, for a company. Now, let's say I want to start a business and I'm investing into it. Then if I have to start an IT business where I need some sort of servers for running the databases, running my web applications, and any other, right? So I have to invest so much of amount of money into it, right? Which is not straight away possible for everyone, whoever is willing to start, right? So this amount of investment is a big challenge. Plus, there is a lot of maintenance and other overhead involved into it. See, when you build something out of your own, then you are solely responsible for it, right? That's the reason why people are looking at something that we can rent, right? Let's say there are people who are taking care of your servers, taking care of the related stuff, the networking, the storage, and everything, and you just rent, you just pay for what you use. Isn't that very interesting, right? That's where cloud computing comes into picture. Okay, so this enables faster innovation. Let's say I have a very innovative idea like you have. You all certainly have innovative idea with you to come up with and build a small enterprise of your own, right? You are going to be future entrepreneurs, right? Of course, you need a job to get very good experience, but let's say you have a dream of that. Then to build such an infrastructure, to build such an enterprise, right? From scratch is very difficult. So what you will do is you will directly jump to something that is on rent, take it, rent it, and then create your innovation on that, right? This is very useful. So that's why the delivery of all these compute resources, it could be storage, it could be networking, it could be servers, it could be analytics, it could be AI, ML, whatever it is, everything is now on rent. And that is called cloud computing. Okay. And especially when you do it on scale, right, your cost will significantly reduce. That's what we call it as economies of scale as well, right? So this is the introduction to what cloud computing actually means. Now, if you look at the up next, we have what is called as the benefits of the cloud computing. For example, if you look at let's talk about one situation where we have scale and agility. Okay, let's say you are running a web application. Let's say you are a Flipkart or you are an e-commerce website. Okay, you have a e-commerce website and you're running it. Okay, if you run it on premises with your own structure at your own premises, all the IT infrastructure, then certainly what happens is when you announce a sale, you say that, okay, I'm selling this commodity, this merchandise at a very throwaway price, and suddenly your web app starts getting hits. People come to you to buy, to purchase, and to even to look at, right? So the number of hits to your web application goes multifold, because of which what happens is your application becomes dull, because you have less compute power, because that is what you have invested, and you cannot suddenly increase. That is called scale up in technical words. You cannot suddenly increase the compute power, or you cannot suddenly add on more machines to it, or nothing, right? If it is on premises. But if you give it to the hands of cloud, let's say any cloud service providers, then what they do is they will provide you with a scalability promise, which actually means that when your traffic is too high to your web application, the scale will automatically happen. So it will naturally go up in its compute power and other required infrastructure. And let's say suddenly your sale is over and tomorrow morning you don't have people coming to you in that big numbers, right? So you don't have to worry about it. It will automatically scale down. So this beauty of cloud is something that is we have to look at when we talk about investing in cloud. Okay, and agility is something like people, today you come with a feature and your competition is so high in the market that the features keep changing and you will have to adjust to the market pace. And suddenly you need to bring a new feature tomorrow, and making everything every change so urgently, it's not so easy, right? You have to be agile. You have to be agile enough to grasp that change in the features. So agility comes into picture. That is something cloud will take care without your efforts. Then second part is about high availability. For example, let's say you are running a same application, your network is down suddenly, right? You see that your network goes down, or you see that your machine is at fault. There is a power outage, like it typically happens in in rainy seasons and so on. So if that happens, you cannot assure people of the quality of service, correct? So in that case, you will have to build a highly available system. Now, who does that? If you give it to the cloud, cloud will take care of the high availability part. They have something called as service level agreements, SLA, okay, which indicates that whatever may be the situation, they are going to make sure your system is up and running. That is very, very promising. Okay. And okay, so I hope you understand that, right? The cloud has got these benefits, which is apparently, or even with keen observation, you will never find it on premises so easily. And also, if you look at automated operations and maintenance, built-in advanced intelligent security, right? All of these are very, very challenging stuff. For example, I want to build a machine learning model and make it available to the people to use. For example, let's say you build a computer vision model and let people use that, right, for surveillance application, for policing application, and so on. But that development, making the improvements onto that model is not so easy when you make it on premises. But cloud has a specific set of operationalization stuff like pipelining. You must have heard of DevOps, pipelining, and so on. That will help do this. Okay, and also the security part. There is a security, there is compliance. You need to be compliant, right? If you are in college, you need to be compliant to certain rules. In the same way, if you are in IT, you need to comply to certain rules. All those are completely taken care on cloud, especially the cloud people who are in masters in the cloud, right? So you have monitoring, backups, and so on. If you look at backups part, okay. So what do you mean by backups? Basically, why do we take it? Any answer in the chat? Why do we take backups for the data? Why do we take that? Please answer me in the chat. So because data is everything, like Karthik mentioned, right? Data is the new oil. If you lose data, you lose money, right? To predict, yeah, there's a right answer there. So we don't lose it, correct? We don't lose the data. Data is everything to us. Without data, there is no AI, there is no ML, there is no predictive analytics. Nothing can happen, right? So you need backup to recover the lost data. And also you need to have a plan to make sure that your infrastructure is not at fault. So these things, you need human resource to, you have to deploy somebody at on-premise to take care of all this. And again, this is again human intervention, which is going to be super defective sometimes. That's why it is better to give entire stuff to the cloud, and cloud will take care of that. And integration point, last point, that is about let's say you want to integrate. I think in the last time when we talked about AI ML stuff, right? I had shown a demonstration about sending a quick message or an email to the stakeholders when there is a negative statement on the Twitter, right? Let's say how do you think, right? You write negative of some service, and quickly they call you in no time. How do you think that happens? That happens through ease of integration. Cloud is something that is helping in the backend. Cloud says just you relax, you spend your money, and let the services go on. If something goes wrong, if people complain of it, then I'm there to take care of it. So immediately you will be notified. So you have something called as logic apps in Azure. You have function apps. You have Power BI to analyze your data, and so on. So these integration points are very, very easy. And hence you will be able to quickly build your business problems around it. That's the benefit of cloud. I hope this was useful to you to understand the intricate parts of the cloud and why the cloud is so beneficial and why people are after it. So this must give you an idea that any organization must be looking at cloud. So up next, we have something to talk about the deployment models. So the next slide is about, you can deploy something like private cloud where you, let's say there is an infrastructure provider, a third-party provider, but the users are only one organization, right? For example, let's say IBM has its own private cloud, or in general, XYZ has its own private cloud. Also, when I say cloud, it just means that it is pool of IT infrastructure, okay? And that is available solely to the organization because it is internally for the particular organization. That's called private cloud. And this can be developed by in-house. I mean to say, if I'm XYZ corporation, I develop it for my own. I have a team that is taking care, or I can give it to a third-party vendor who can do this. But that is completely for that corporate network only. Then the other one is the public cloud, the other side of it, right? In the public cloud, what we do is it's like Azure, Microsoft Azure, AWS, GCP, and so on. They provide the entire IT infrastructure or the compute resources over internet. Okay, so with internet, you will be able to access them. So any example of Microsoft Azure or rather Microsoft-based applications that you have used? Any example which actually is provided by Microsoft Cloud? Any guesses? Okay. So you all must have worked on Office 365, right? So this Office 365 is basically a provision of cloud, Microsoft Cloud itself, right? So I'll talk about that in a while. The third deployment model is hybrid. Let's say you have some things running on premises. Because of the security reasons, you don't want to send the data to cloud. But you at the same time you want some services from the cloud. Okay, so what you do is you coexist them. There's on the one side you have public cloud helping you with services that you need, for example AI services, machine learning services, or networking services, and so on. And on the other side you have private cloud, which is working for the security purpose. So together they create a hybrid cloud. That also works quite a lot of times. A lot of organizations do undertake this hybrid cloud nature as well. So next one is about the next slide. It is about service-based model. So we have infrastructure as a service, which is called IaaS, then PaaS. I think Suresh sir was mentioning about this, right? Platform as a service, and then software as a service. So what happens is that there is a shared responsibility between us and the cloud provider, right? Say if you ask, I will provide. So if you say that I want to give a little bit of investment, and you take care of entire thing that is needed for running my business, that's not going to work out. Then cloud provider says that I will provide you 3 models. Okay, if you want me to take care of only the hardware part, let's say networking, the servers, and the storage, then I will provide, I'll call it as infrastructure as a service. And for that, I will charge, let's say X. And let's say I don't want just hardware, because I have to see if I just get a hardware, I need to install my software, run everything on it, and do the maintenance part. So I will give it that responsibility to you, right? To the cloud provider. Then cloud provider will charge more, but at the same time, the cloud will take care of that without any failure. Okay, that's called platform as a service. So that will be infrastructure plus the software part. Software in the sense operating system plus the runtime that is needed to run the applications. Okay, but what the user will take care is the applications and data. Now let's say I don't want even that, right? People are lazy and people have money today to invest. Then they will say, I just have data, I will create users and use it entirely, including application you need to handle. Then that is called SaaS, SaaS. So you will be providing that as a software as a service. For example, Office 365, okay, is one example. Can you tell me any other example which is software as a service from either Microsoft or Google? Any example? I'm looking into the chat. Perfect. Yes. Gmail, that's a good idea. That's right. Any other? Can you think of something else which is away from these two, right? Let's say not Microsoft, not Google, something else which is software as a service. So there is a buzzword. Yes. Okay. Okay. AutoCAD. Have you heard of Salesforce? Have you heard of customer management relationship at CRMs? So those tools, right, which come as a software package, will be run entire Dropbox. Yeah, excellent answer. That's the right answer. Dropbox is one of these SaaS provisions, right? So thanks for replying on the chat. So these are called SaaS applications, and entirely except data at the end, everything else is taken care by cloud. So you can choose based on your requirement. If you whatever is your investment plan, right? If you have most investment possible and you are not worried about much of the security concerns, then you can go ahead with PaaS or SaaS, which will be entirely taken care by the Azure or the AWS itself. Next one, it is a more elaborated diagram that we have next. So next one, yeah. So quickly to look at the responsibility, you can see that the physical hardware till the host is all IaaS. The dark blue is where the customer will handle. The light blue is where the Microsoft or the cloud will handle, right? This is pretty much the same what I explained just now, right? So SaaS, if you look at, the customer will handle only the devices like my phone, my laptop, and so on, plus the data, information that I provide. But rest, everything is taken care by the cloud itself in the SaaS. And on the extreme, on the other extreme, on premises, if you look at on the fourth one, you see everything is in dark blue, which means nothing is given as a responsibility to the cloud. Entirely, it's my own responsibility, which is very difficult, which I just showed you because of various challenges that we face, right? So this is the same diagram. Next. So we call it in technical terms. By I think this is a summary of what we were talking about. We call something as capex and opex. When you upfront pay something to start a business, right, for the infrastructure, that is called capital expenditure, which is in short called as capex. And this is going to be, you have to take it back from the customers because you have to add it while you provide services. That you can do it when you start giving services, but the problem is you need to first invest it, which is very difficult for most of the people who start the business, who start the enterprise. So for them, what is more beneficial is the OPEX, right? So OPEX, or rather we can say consumption-based model. There is another name for OPEX, which is called consumption-based model. Another name is pay as you go. So I will use and I will pay for what I use. I don't pay more for things when it is idle. For example, I take a server today, I buy it for 1 lakh rupees. When it is not working, rather when it is idle, not serving the purpose, it will be still be my expenditure only. But if you rent it from the cloud, you are just renting for, you're just paying for what you use. And that's the meaning of capex and opex. So we are more interested in OPEX because that helps save money, save effort, and get good quality of service. Next. Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Consumption-based model. It will be better cost. It will be, the prices for individual resources you can compute. Let's say I have a disk. You can ask. People are much fond of SSDs nowadays, not HDDs. Right, so that is called as resource by resource billing that you can do, and billing is going to be upfront. It is going to tell you that this is what is going to be your bill. You look at your bill, look at your budget, and then match them and use them. So this kind of flexibility you will never get in on-premises. That's why people go for cloud. I think that's pretty much it about the basics of cloud computing. The next thing is about a quick demo. So I will hand it over to Karthik for a quick demo in which, see, if you want to build a SQL server, or let's say a database by your own, you need to get one server, then add operating system on it. Okay. And then on the operating system, you need to, let's say, you need to install the software for the SQL. Okay. I mean to say the database software. And on top of software, you will have to maintain the software for its updates. This is the effort. And then you have to add your details into the database, then query it. This is so long process. Okay. But if you want to do that spinning up of database in cloud, you will see how much time it takes. So it takes less than what I explained for an on-premises, right? So even to explain also for on-premises, it takes time. But for cloud, you are just observing on the screen. My friend is showing to you that it is not going to take much time. So over to you, Karthik. You can explain and show the demo.
Thank you very much for Anantir for giving a good insights about the cloud computing and all. So let me just try to show a quick demo of like how actually it can be very easy to have these servers or anything deployed on the cloud. So I'm just showing one of the service here. So like if you just go to the home page here, so if you just try to see here more services, so we are having so many services available here. So we are having so many services which are available, almost like more than 200 services are available with Microsoft Azure here. So what I'll be showing you one of the service here. So how to deploy a SQL server. So if I want to deploy a SQL server like on my premises, so as Anantet was speaking, like what I do require first, I have to install make the location ready for creating a server. Afterwards, what I have to do, I have to put a OS on top of that, I have to put a MySQL. All of this I have to put it across here, where the cost and all will be coming into picture. But here, if I want to set up the same thing in the Microsoft Azure, so I'm just going, I'm in the home page here. I'm just clicking on create a resource. So I'm just clicking on create a server. That is, I want to create a SQL server. So I'll just call it as Azure SQL. So I'm getting this particular thing here. So I'm just clicking on create. So let me just create here. So now what I'm doing, so I'm just creating a SQL database here. You can have a managed instance or you can have a virtual machines. I'm just showing a demo of how to create a SQL database. So here, once I come inside here, we have something called a subscription. It is authentication. Okay, he's a valid user who is using that one kind of a subscription I'm having here. So here, I have to give one name for this particular database here. I'll just give the name for this as database demo. I'll just give the name as database demo here. So already I'm having one SQL server here. So if I want, I can use that particular SQL server. Or if I want to give create one new server, I can also create that one here. So let me just give a name for that one here, just to show like how fast it can be created here. So like I'll just put it as server demo. So let me just put it as June 7th. So let me just put it as June 7th here. So that is what I'm just putting here. I just gave a name. Can I only, okay. So all these characters are there.
You can go with the existing server also. That's totally fine.
Yeah, like server name is already in use. So let me just take the existing server here. So all these servers are already there in this one here. So I'll just take the existing server here. So now let me just keep these settings same. So here backup redundancy, like how redundant I want the data. So whether the data should be copied in 3 different data centers in the same data center, or if it has to copied in 3 different regions. So like that, we are having different options. So just to have the backup of the data, assume that like there is some calamity or something, like there is a data outage, like there is a loss of data. I don't want that one. So there are different options. One is called as LRS, ZRS, GRS, like that we are having different options. So I'll just keep it as locally dependent backup storage, like that will cost comparatively less. So I'm just keeping that here. And let me just go to the public here. So now I'll just keep these uh, firewall settings as this as yes here. So let me just keep it as yes. So I'll just go to the security part. So I'll not be going with the Microsoft Defender for the SQL, means like whatever the Microsoft Defender is there, we can also use that one. So I'm not keeping any Microsoft Defender or anything here. So now let me just click on review and create. So if I just click on create, within a minute of like some 2 to 3 minutes, like the entire SQL server along with the database, all of these things will be created here. So it'll take like a minute or two. So meanwhile, like see, like what is the advantages of a little more advantages I'm wanted to share here. So Anantit was saying like it is giving a service level agreement of 99.995%. So 99%. So actually this SQL database server, whatever we are creating, it is giving a service level agreement of 99.995%. So meaning what may be the downtime for 1 month? Can you try to calculate? So can you just try to calculate like what may be the downtime for 1 month? So if I am having a 99.995% SLA, means what we are saying, it can be down only for 0.005%. So it can go down only for 0.005%. So what may be the downtime for one month? Can you just try to calculate and put it in the chat window? Yes, I'm getting few of the answers here. Okay. Okay, I'm getting little nearby answers. Okay. So here I just want to show tell this one here. So the near, like, see, for a month, if you keep it service level agreement of 99.995%, meaning so it can go down only for a month, it can go down for 1.16 second. So for one complete month, it can go down only for one and a half second. For complete year, it can go down only for 14 seconds. So that is the service level agreement that they are providing. So like my service will go down only for 14 seconds in one complete year. So that is the amount of thing what they're providing here. So now you can see my deployment is done. So all my resources done. So I can directly click on go to the resource, or you can also go to the home page. So here I'm having all the resources which are created here. So let me just open the database here.
So Karthik, you mean we were able to create the database in just 2 minutes, right?
Yes, just 2 minutes.
Because
like
you were explaining it to 5 minutes.
Is created.
Correct.
So like you can here what I'm having a sample database also. So I created added one sample database to this one here. So you can always do query that particular thing also here. So here we are having a query editor. Like if you want to go with the on-premises, what will happen is like you had to first, okay, like you had done the server setting. So later what you have to do, you have to put the OS and whatever the compatible SQL database is there, you have to put that one. So compatible query editor you have to add. So all these things will come into picture. So setting up a server only will take so much of what is a capex. As Anand was saying, capex is very, very important. And time to spin up that particular thing. See here we can spin up within 2 minutes. But if I want to do it on premises, the same thing, like so much of time is involved. So during that time, my competitor company can come in and pitch in, so they can release their product. So time to market is very, very important whenever you are trying to develop any application. So that time can be saved enormously with less or less spending of money. Since like we are having like these cloud service providers are providing at scale. So they're following the economies of scale. Like whenever they are having high demand, so they can charge at a lower price also. So we are getting these services at a lower price, and we are having that done at a very fast way. So that is what we are having. So now I'll just show you how can I go with this one here. So if I just go to the query editor, so if I just go to the query editor here, so I'm having my sample thing here. So I'll just log into my server here. So I'll just log into my server. Already have created a server here. So I just logged into this one. So now here, if you just observe here, we are having so many tables in this one here. So these are the different tables, like I'm having a customer table, customer address table, product table, and product category table, all of these things here. So can you people tell me one of the very simplest query? So what we can do? So generally, like we'll start with generally select star. Select star means like select everything from the table. So what table I want? I want the table sales table. So let me just try to show the sales.product. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to put a query here. So let's select star from product. So I can just run this particular query. So what it will do, it will go to this tables water database and check for this particular product table, and then it will fetch that particular details to me. So I'm able to see this particular thing here. So if you just see here, so this particular product table, it is having product ID, it is having something called as like name, product number, color, all of this I'm having here. So standard cost or something like that. So assume that like I don't want everything here. So assume that I want specific fields or features out of this one here. Assume that I'll just take few of the features here. Assume that I just want the product ID. I just want the product ID, and I just want the name of the product, and I just want the product name, product number. So I'm just giving these names here. I'm just running the same query again. So I'm just running this here. So now you can see that it has, out of the entire table, it has extracted me this particular part. It has extracted me what is the product ID, name, and product number. So it is very simple. Like you can extract the data and do it across here. Similarly, assume that you want to, let me just show you one more option here. So I'm just showing few of the simple queries here, so that like if you're not having the SQL data, means like knowledge about the SQL also, it is okay. So what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to take the entire table. So now assume that in this entire table, I had to sort it based on my product number. So here now it is sorted based on my product ID. Assume that I want to sort it based on my product number. So what I'll do, I'll just, okay, first I'll select the entire data here from this particular table. And then what I'll do, I'll try to order by the product number. So I'll order by product number. So this is the feature here. So now if I just run this here, see, now the entire table is sorted based on my product number here. So previously it was not the case, like it was sorted based on my product ID, which was basically my primary key. So now I had done the sorting based on this particular thing. Or like assume that I don't want it in ascending order, I want it in a descending order. I can do it across here. So like that, see, like probably I started this particular demo on at 6:12 or 6:15, and by 6:20 I can show that okay, I have created this server, and with the sample database I'm also able to do the querying part. So that is the amount of like capacity that cloud computing is having. So you can spin up the application at very fast. So instead of spending your time, resource on all of this, so setting up the server and maintenance of the server, all of this, so you can always, what to say, have this particular, use the cloud computing here. And one more thing here,
I think, yeah. So Karthik, so you mean this is a retail database? It's a database of retail details, and we were able to get the details. We were able to create this database basically within no time, and we were able to query what we want from the database. Correct?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing in no time.
Yeah,
That's really amazing.
yeah. This is a small demo for you people, so that like just to show the capability of this. So not only this, we are having so many other services also. So that is what we try to concentrate on this particular training. Yeah. Sir, can you just share your screen back?
Smriti ma'am.
Smriti ma'am.
I think Smriti ma'am will be here in some time.
Yeah.
So Smriti ma'am, over to you. We have the upcoming discussion on the Q&A on this. Suraj sir, are you on this? So Smriti ma'am, can you hear us?
Hello?
Yes, Smriti ma'am, we can hear you now. Now there is some disturbance over there. No, there is some noise there. We are not able to hear entirely.
Yes, yes. Are you able to?
Yeah, it was actually, again, it got mute. So request you to unmute.
Yes. Am I audible now?
Yeah, perfectly fine.
Fine. I would request either of you to launch the poll number 3 and 4.
Poll number 3 and 4.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm launching the poll. Request the participants to provide the polls here. The question is, how is data in relational table organized? Is it rows and columns? Is it header and footer, or pages and paragraphs? So I'm able to see your responses now. There is a poll on the demo, based on demo.
Hello.
That how is the data in relational database or relational table organized? Is it in rows and columns? Is it in header and footer, or pages and paragraphs?
Yeah, am I audible? Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, Suraj sir.
Yeah,
You are
yeah.
audible now.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Actually,
have
there is
launched
some-
the demo poll now.
Okay.
Yeah.
No problem. No problem. Can you just share the screen also, the slide deck which I shared earlier with you, if possible?
Yeah, yes, sure. Sir.
Okay.
I'm sharing, Anand.
Perfect. Yeah. Thanks. So I'm
sharing, Anand.
ending the poll now. So the poll says, yeah, this is right. So in the relational table that we showed, the demonstration, it is organized in the form of rows and columns. Right? That's right. Thanks for your response in the poll. Over to you, Suraj sir. Suraj sir, you're on mute.
Yeah. Is my screen visible?
Yes, we can see your screen now.
Yeah. So sorry for that.
No problem, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, you can cover the slides and then I'll take it up.
Yeah, Karthik.
Yeah, thank you, Suraj sir. So till now, what we have seen, like we started with the cloud computing industry, how the industry is there. So we have seen the different job opportunities and all. So we have also seen the job crunch that is available here. So that is available in the industry right now. So now, you may be having a query like, okay, why should we go with the training with CloudThat? So why MIT-ADT has done a tie-up with the CloudThat for providing these trainings and all. So I just want to give a brief overview about our organization, which through which you are getting a training here. So we are CloudThat. So we are having around 10 plus years of experience in this particular cloud domain training. So we have delivered the training on different cloud things, that is like security, IoT, AI and ML. So DevOps, all of these things we have provided. And I'm proud to share that like our CEO, Mr. Bhavesh, is one of the pioneer in this providing these trainings. Like when like initially the cloud that was started, like none of the trainers were available in this cloud. So he is one of the pioneer in providing the cloud trainings here. So in this over the journey of 10 years, we had delivered the training for more than 5 lakh professionals here. So, and we have served more than 100 corporates. So we are not only in training. So if we are only in training, we may not be having a good knowledge. So we are in like training as well as the consulting. We do the consulting projects. We had delivered more than 200 projects over this particular time of 10 years. So we are having a strong team of around 350 employees like we are having. So we had delivered training to some of the Fortune 500 companies. So we are the gold Microsoft partners of Microsoft. We are awarded with superstar of the year in the Asia. So in the financial year 2021, and we are the AWS and the Google Cloud partners also in the training and consulting. So recently we had done a tie-up with like VMware. So and we started delivering the trainings of VMware also. So these are some of our partners. Like we are a gold Microsoft partners of Microsoft, and we are the training and consulting partners of AWS, and we are the authorized training partners of VMware, and we are also the training partners of Google Cloud also. So this is about our organization which is providing. So we are having a very good rich amount of experience in providing this particular cloud training here. So so you are in a very safe hands, like no need to worry regarding that.
Thank you, Karthik. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. And thank you for the opportunity, Suresh sir, for providing this delivery.
So guys, let me quickly cut the throat over here and let's get back to our career assured program, which we promised to you. So let me quickly share in next 6 to 7 minutes or so, what does this particular career assured program cover and how is it going to take ahead. So already you have got the basic understanding about the cloud, how we can have, you can play around on the Azure and how server and all those things work, right? My dear friend, in today's scenario of the information technology world, as all of us have mentioned about, cloud computing is one of the most demanding and rapidly growing career domains, right? And statistically speaking, already we had a lot of stats over the slides, and right. So nearly 90% of the companies across the world are already on the cloud, and the global public cloud computing market is all set to cross around $350 billion by 2022 end, right? And moreover, all these organizations spend more than 1/3 part of their IT budget in cloud services. Am I right, Anantirth and Karthik?
Absolutely, sir. Yeah.
So indeed, my dear friends, cloud computing is here to rule and will require more and more skilled professionals, and that should be enough to prompt you to take your career, to make your career in cloud computing domain, right? And you can see what exactly we are going to cover. There are more than 4+ Microsoft certifications involved in this, and systematically right from fundamentals and even Azure DevOps, working with Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, Ansible, all these things will be covered. So the first and foremost task you need to do, my dear friend, is to build career as a cloud computing professional. You are required to know about the cloud technology platforms, right? And all of them has been covered. You need to understand what technology serves and how it fulfills the requirements of the organization. And once you will get to know about the cloud technology and respective platforms, it will be time to take a step ahead to go through the fundamentals of cloud computing, and it will help you to lay the foundation of the cloud computing career pathway to reach your career goals. And you are required to understand several topics in depth, and our mentors, experts from CloudThat as well as industry will be there to help you, to guide you, to shape your career in the right direction, because there are certain topics, in-depth topics, which need a lot of practice, like cloud formation, architecture, cloud service models, deployment models, as he was discussing, then virtualization of cloud computing. All this stuff would require definitely practical exposure. And this program is curated in the same fashion, because when we talk about categories of cloud computing services like infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, even software as a service, or we can say function as a service, this matters a lot, right? Now, let me quickly set up the poll for you guys, how much you understood, and let's proceed ahead. Oh, all right. Karthik, can you hit the poll number 4? Because you are the host now. I could not see the polls. Yeah, Karthik. Yeah, thank you. So, my dear friends, there are 3 questions before you. Just quickly let us know first question is, which of the following choices is not a cloud computing category? So, network as a service, platform, infrastructure, and software. Thank you, Karthik. Can you just make me co-host as well? Yeah. So please be quick, answer all the queries. Yes, around 60% of you have participated. You are very right. And yes, we are very much thankful for your attentiveness. You are hitting the right chord. All right. So let me get ahead. I'll just end the poll. Thank you so much for your participation. Yeah. So what is going to be the growth map, and what exactly we are going to cover? We discussed already. See, as it has been said and mentioned during our discussion as well, right? The best way to learn anything is to learn by doing. And that's on the same approach we have curated content, which is mostly practical oriented. There are more than 30 plus lab sessions. There are doubt clearing sessions, because when we say 100% job guarantee, definitely we have to get it done from you guys. And yes, you are required to implement all the theoretical knowledge and concepts practically with more exposure and with more proficiency. That's how you are here recommended to get some hands-on expertise on various cloud practices like cloud monitoring, server management, application migration, and whatnot, to understand the things in better way. You can take up some minor project. You have to take capstone project at the end, right, to get into the environment, and that would eventually help to advance your career in cloud computing. So as you can see on your screen right now, you're here, and gradually we will take a steps towards the stage 1, where cloud computing basis, advanced cloud concepts, and parallelly we will prepare you for the Microsoft certifications, right from practitioner to associate level, right? Moving on to stage 2, where data fundamentals, data engineering, and again DP900 and DP203 certifications will be targeted, right? Where you will be working as a data engineer. And then after this stage, you will be exposed to DevOps with Docker's basic, then Kubernetes, and again AZ400, which is associate level Microsoft certification, and DevOps engineer. So this is how it would look like systematically. This program has been chalked out for 40 working days, where you will be trained on stage 1 to capstone project, right from basics of cloud fundamentals to the DevOps to the Docker, as well as the capstone project, right? And throughout this program, these are going to be the tools where you will get exposed, like Jenkins, Terraform, Ansible, Azure PowerShell, Visual Studio Code, and what. So these are the tool sets. And once you complete, as we are promising you the 100% job guarantee, else we will refund your money back, right? So these are the career opportunities which you can explore. By the time you will be completing this particular program, you may work as cloud research associate, solution architect, DevOps engineer, cloud engineer, even subject matter expert, or cloud tech consultant. All these things are possible. Okay. Yes, I hope I'm clear. For any doubt, you just put it in chat box, or you can put it in question Q&A box, right? All right, moving on. Yes, as Karthik said, about more than 5 lakh people have been trained by CloudThat. So those learners are working at these companies, you can see, and many more. These are just some of the key industries where they are serving at their fullest capacity. Yes. What kind of advantage you will be getting with this association of CloudThat and MIT Fuse? So on your screen, you can see, and we will not let you down in any case. We will not let spare, because we will get it done from your end, right? So yes, you will be getting dedicated student success mentor. Then doubt resolving session, as I mentioned, there would be special dedicated, and we do have industry experts onboarded and authorized trainers who will guide you how to shape your career in that direction. Then assessment and knowledge check every twice a week or weekly. There would be assessment, there would be practicals, there would be minor projects where you need to undertake, and all these things will be online instructor led synchronous training. We will not provide you any pre-recorded lectures. You have to attend it with the full vigor and full dedication. Then only we together we could make it possible for your further job prospects. Yes, as I mentioned, capstone projects, hands-on on real life experience. So definitely you can do all this stuff, and we will help you even for DevOps, continuous integration, continuous deployment. All these things we would help you out. You will get maximum industry exposure so that you can deliver your performance, right? So who can be benefited? Yes, any working professional, those who would like to make difference in their career. And we do promise minimum 30% hike in your current employment. Yes, that's our promise. Even recent graduate or tech enthusiasts, those who would like to switch their job or would like to, or even bachelor student, those who are in final year, they can also apply, or even master students. And this career assured program for 40 days is exclusively designed for the MIT-ADT University students at the very discounted and sponsored rates, right? Yeah. So how to get enrolled, how to get, so let me just be very quick and let me tell you the process. These are the 5 important steps which will get you to your next dream career very much closer. Okay. Step 1, you have to pay your registration fee, which is again fully refundable if we are unable to give you the job opportunity, right? And for MIT-ADT University and those who are attending today's session, for them, we made exclusively discount of 2,000 rupees. So you have to only pay 3,000 rupees as a registration fee, right? Then step 2, you will be provided with the access of eligibility test. The eligibility test will be conducted on 9th of July. It will be open till 10th, right? As per your time, as per your convenience, you can appear for the test. And based on that eligibility test, there will be interview call. And then we will send you the offer letter as well as contract agreement, which says 100% job guarantee will be provided, else your money will be refunded without any questions asked, provided that you shall have minimum attendance and maximum participation, right? Then you have to complete the enrollment progress and you can start with this career transformation program. So these are the links. I'll just share in the chat box. 1 second. Yeah. Go to our website. The link has been pasted in chat box. Complete your application by today itself. Pay 3,000 rupees. Those who are very sure, do not wait for anything else. We are here to guide you. Just we need your 40 days dedicated time with us. And the dates for this program is tentatively right from 15th of July to 9th of August, right? Around 9 weeks program. And those who would like to try and test out the eligibility test for your betterment, again, I am sharing the nomination form in the chat box. Yes, where you can provide your nomination. Okay. So, my dear friend, already we discussed a lot about cloud. because cloud is a nifty bit of technology that help translate thoughts into action, right? And ideas into processes and dreams into fruition. So it is definitely here to stay and is going to help us create a wave of innovation. So don't worry about cloud computing as such. We are here to help you out and we are here to resolve all the queries. So complete your application today itself. You can scan also. The same thing has been displayed on the screen. You can scan and you can fill the nomination form. We will be taking not more than 20 students for this pilot batch. So please do secure your seat as soon as possible, right? The nomination form is also given, bit.ly/transform your career. And again, I repeat, visit mitfutureskills.org/online-apply. Complete your application today itself, right? And definitely you will find more details about MIT Center for Future Skills Excellence on our website. Okay, so let me get back to now. Yes. Now the forum is open for question and answer. Yeah, so please put in your query in chat box. Thank you so much for your valuable time. Me and my colleagues would definitely love to answer your queries. Please use Q&A. Please use Q&A so that others can be also benefited by your question. Else you can raise your hand as well. Yes, thank you so much for this question. This program is going to be 100% online, which you can attend from your home or your college or your hostel, right? And we would take care that it shall be very much engaging through our industry mentors and experts. And there would be once in a week doubt clearing sessions as well. No pre-recorded videos, everything will be delivered online, instructor-led training, and more than 30 plus lab sessions, right? So I hope your answer. Yeah, what will be eligibility test based on? So we would check the basic aptitude and basic knowledge. How much do you understand about the technology? And we would also check where you are really interested to make your career, right? I request Karthik and Anantir to add in this. What will be eligibility test based on?
Yes, sir. As you rightly mentioned, we will be testing on some of the basics of aptitude because that is important part of any interview that you usually take up, right? And also we will we'll check on any IT knowledge that you have, because that will be a foundational stuff for the participants to get onto this. So it will be very basic on all of these, including a little bit of cloud computing.
And since it is targeting towards cloud and data engineering courses, you can expect some of the things related to data structures, DBMS, means a basic thing, at least a basic thing, because those are the prerequisites, like some of the prerequisites for this. So just to know about how much knowledge you are having on the same.
Thank you. I hope it answers your query. Thank you so much for your question. Then there is another question about the timings. So it will be on weekdays around 5 to 6 hours training, which starts from 10 a.m. in the morning and which goes up to 5:30, considering the lunch break and some small breaks, right? And it is going to be completely online program. Yes. So I hope about timings, I am very much clarified. Yeah. Then there is one interesting question and very important question from Mr. Aditya regarding the charges other than 3,000. Yes. So that we will disclose on later stage when you clear the eligibility test. Then we will let you know how much are the charges. And even if you are unable to pay, we do have financial agencies, those who can support you even you can take EMI option. But we are sure that whatever fees will be charged for MIT-ADT University, it is completely very, very low compared to market price, right? And we assure you, if you don't get job of minimum 5.5 lakh package, we will refund your money. Yes. I am making this promise on online platform.
Absolutely, Suresh sir. Especially when you guarantee the job thing and also you guarantee money back, then I think there should be no reason to think about the price.
Yeah. Any other question, guys? Yes, Sabyasachi, I just told you about the charges that we will be disclosing once you clear the eligibility test. So Aniket, thank you so much for your query again. There are two forms, one is on our website, MIT Future Skills. I just paste it again for your benefit, where you have to confirm your seats, right? And pay 3,000 rupees. Yes. You just visit this, select application form for CAP in Cloud Computing and DevOps, that is Career Assured Program. Pay 3,000 if you are very much sure and complete your application, because we are going to have very limited seats. Later on, we are not going to entertain it. And you can also nominate yourself using this particular form, the Google form, which I just shared in chat box. Those who are going to fill the nomination form, they will be provided sponsored privilege from MIT-ADT University to appear for eligibility test. Once you clear the eligibility test, you will receive offer letter plus contract agreement. And in that contract agreement, we are giving you full assurance and promise. If you don't get placed, we will refund your money back. 100% money will be refunded. Because we do have dire need of cloud engineers. And that's how we need to train the young engineers and techno enthusiasts on this particular technology. This 40 days, that's why we say it as a boot camp. It is in boot camp style, very rigorous. There won't be any timing limitation. There would be more practical approach oriented learning and exchange interactions happening. And then there will be assessment. And during due course of the time, more than 4 to 5 Microsoft certifications we are targeting. So by the time you people will be passed out from this particular batch, within next 1 month or so, you will have jobs in your hand. That's what we do promise, right? Last date is today itself. We are not going to entertain any queries later, because we have got thunderous response. More than 175 plus audience have attended this webinar live on Zoom platform. And we have made it open. So you have to be very fast. We have to act very fast. We will also share the link for the recording, what we discussed today. You have to take your decisions, and there will be eligibility test on 9th, which you have to appear. Based on your performance, you will be offered with offer letter as well as contract agreement. I hope I am very much clear and loud enough to let you know what sort of opportunities available for you to transform your career. Any questions? I hope I answered all the queries. Yes, Aditya? You can unmute yourself and you can raise your query.
Nothing, sir. It was just that other than 3K, what are the charges? And you said you'll disclose that later. But will that be around like more than 15K? Just to have a rough sketch.
Yeah, actually, Aditya, even if you go to the Microsoft certification, which I just mentioned, just try to identify the rough estimate of the same, and then you will understand how much it is.
Actually, I am a Microsoft Learn student ambassador. Like I am promoting those courses myself also, like the certifications. So I do know about the charges, but so those charges will be included in the course itself.
Yeah.
So you will make us do the certification. It will be mandatory.
Yeah, we will make you Microsoft certified professional. We will
Okay.
make you certified cloud engineer.
Okay.
That's how we are promising you 100% job guarantee. Because we will be taking endeavors in that direction to make you most employable and demanding career professional.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yes.
So then, okay, then if that's the case, like I have tried out many job guarantee programs, like not tried out, I've seen and seen all those advertisements for it. So like the charges have been at least 50K. So
Aditya, are you a student of MIT-ADT University?
yes, sir.
Yeah. So you know me better, and you also know where do I sit, where is my office.
Yes, sir.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
If we are going to give it at free of cost or some very nominal charges, then there won't be any seriousness, right?
Yes, sir. That is
Then we are saying that you will get 100% job guarantee, means you will get it. And we are signing contract with you. So you just have to devote yourself for 40 days bootcamp and get opportunity to transform your career, right?
Right,
So
sir.
that commitment definitely we are seeking from your end.
Right, sir. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, there is one more question in chat box. Okay. Is there any age bar? No, Sabyasachi ji, there is no age bar. If you are working professional, having some years of experience or earning some X amount, we definitely promise here you will get at least 30% high what you are getting right now. All right. So there is no age bar. There is no age bar even for learning as well. Yeah, there is one question from Aniket in chat box. If we don't clear the eligibility test, whether we get the money back? Yes, if you paid 3,000 rupees before the eligibility test, you will get your 3,000 rupees refunded without any questions asked. Okay. Yeah, thank you so much for being a lovely audience and interactive. I hope all the doubts are clear now. Yeah, Anantir and Karthik, would you like to add anything else or shall we call it for a day?
Yeah, definitely, Suraj sir. This is an amazing webinar that we had it here, and we were able to give our best of the knowledge to our lovely participants here. And definitely at CloudThat and at even the associations of the CloudThat do have a lot of opportunities. So I definitely make use of this platform to tell it to the all participants to make best use of this opportunity, and please enroll yourself so that you will be one who is going to get just after your 40 days.